always lit over at AJsRANTroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to AJsRANTroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed. Bird's word. What's good, everybody? Welcome in. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy short week. Woohoo! Yes, I love a short week. Cause I need a nap. But anyway, hope everybody's good. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Where in the there we go. Booyah. All right. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving week, everybody. So we will be here this week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then I'm off Thursday, Friday. Well, really not off because I'm just going to be editing videos, but I don't have to be here live or whatever. Anyway, hope all is good. We have a good show for you today. I'm gonna say it like I mean it, and we just gonna keep it moving. Shout out to Belinda, shout out to Pat, shout out to Lynn, shout out to my YC Lloyd, shout out to Inked, and everyone else on the YouTubes. I don't know if y'all heard the good news on Friday, but finally we got to the first level of monetization on YouTube. And so now we can get membership, super chats. I can put my store. I didn't have a chance today to put any items at the bottom, but you'll on videos going forward, we'll see items from the store at the bottom of the feed on YouTube. So yeah, support the channel, do your thing. Super chats are just like coins, like, and you put them on a comment or whatever, and more than likely the super chats will be read by the people. Anyway, so we are making moves here. So we got to get to 4,000 hours to get the full monetization of the situation, which is the full where I make money on ad revenues. So that's when you see those commercials that pop up when you're watching something on YouTube and you don't have a premium account. That's pretty much the thing that's going to annoy you. But anyway, so just do y'all. Thank you. Appreciate it. So anyway, and then I forgot to mention it during the rant experience on Friday, but or maybe I did, or maybe I didn't. I don't know. But I don't even think there's time to mention it during the rant experience. But enough about me. Let's talk about people in the world. So Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover. I think he goes by Donald Glover now, but it used to be Childish Gambino, but the tour is called Childish Gambino. Anyway, so apparently he abruptly canceled the tour last year because he had a stroke and a heart issue, and he had to undergo 2 surgeries. Now, I'm really not one in the business of telling people they need to slow down and stop because I'm one of the crazies. I understand how to, I'm one of these people. I'm guilty of it. I push my body. I push until I get sick. You've seen me sick several times here. and then and then I get upset with myself when I get sick. This is my therapy session, I guess, today as well. So, but now I'm not aspiring to push myself to have a stroke or a heart issue. But I am that type. I have that mentality where I just, always, 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 you want to go, you want to do, you want to succeed, you want to achieve, you want to make it happen. And so he finally opened up on tour. Now I can't play the video because now that we're halfway semi monetized on YouTube, we got to be careful about the types of videos we play and all of that stuff. So I'll just describe to he's back on tour, and he finally explained why he suddenly stopped his Childish Gambino tour last year. He revealed on stage this weekend that he suffered a stroke, later learned that he had a hole in his heart, and went through multiple surgeries to get everything rectified. He also shared that he had been performing through severe pain and a broken foot before doctors told him to stop. So yeah, that's like the football player. Like the football player will always go back out there. That's why you need coaches and coordinators and all of these people to tell them to stop, because they will keep going, because they're just driven. They're just like, okay, professional, 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 get it done, get it done. What did Prince say? You you see, this is oh god, I can't. I can't. Anyway, he said, speaking to the crowd, he said, they say everybody has two lives. The second life starts when you realize you have one. Very interesting. Yes. So again, I'm not going to give him any advice that I'm not going to take myself. So, then, because you're not a perfectionist. I don't know what the term is, but anyway, after years on the road, he said the time away was about protecting his health and focusing on the life in front of him, not just the stage. And that's a good thing to come to that revelation, and things of that nature. Yeah, I'm gonna stop looking at the comments. And so yeah, I'm glad he, took the time, and I'm glad that he recovered and recouped before he got back. And if you ever watch one of his shows, he really gives like 1,000% in his performance. So it's not like he going up there, just kind of half-assing it, half singing. Like, no, he's really out there giving like 1,000% to the audience. And so, when you're that type of person where you want to do a good job, and you just want it to be solid and all of that, and money is great, but the money ain't worth anything if you're dead. So yeah, if you need to slow down a bit, slow down. But I'm glad he got well, and I'm glad he's good, and we can get back on the road and probably do it different this time. You get on stage with all types of things. You get on stage with the flu, you get on stage with a headache, you get on stage with some cramp. I've been on stage with pulled groin muscles and pulled shoulder and a torn bicep tendon and Achilles that's feel like it's gonna snap at any moment. But thank God it never had. That's my worst fear though. That's my worst feared injury. I know you could break bones and all that other stuff, but my worst feared injury is an Achilles rupture. I just, I have a nephew who was a professional basketball player. He ruptured both his Achilles. He tore up his back. He tore up his knee. Everything, just like crazy, right? So when we're athletes, that's just what comes with the territory. But that's my worst fear is the Achilles. So I try to just be as patient as possible. When I start to feel that tendon starts to feel like it's a bit stressed, I mean, like, all right, chill out. We'll do the bike. We won't run this week. We'll do the bike. But anyway, get well. Well, he's better, but do it different this time. And uh, yeah, some people do get on stage drunk. Sometimes it's to cope with pain, like physical pain. But it is what it is. But anyway, let's move on to healthcare, because Donald Jaquavius is talking my language. Donald Jaquavius Trump is speaking my language when it comes to healthcare, because for some reason, we always, and I've been saying this for a long time, we approach the healthcare issue from the wrong angle. We approach it from this, we need to subsidize the companies more. And it's like, that's literally all of our enemies. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care about any of that. But the actual enemy in all of this is the insurance companies and the healthcare industry, period. We're being overcharged. We're being ridiculously charged. And then I remember that I saw something about nurses this weekend, and the reason why that was done, just to clarify before I go into this, was not because nurses aren't professionals. It's because what had happened, colleges found out that we can max these loans out that the students can take, right? So if it costs $200,000 to get this education, which a few years ago cost about $40,000, the reason why they're doing that is because they're just trying to get more money. And so now when you put restrictions and regulations on those things, and then you now have to force the colleges to reduce the tuition rates because now you won't be able to take advantage of as much money. It's all about greed with these people. It's all about greed. And then you go into the profession and you spend more years in debt because now you're paying the interest and hopefully no penalties on those loans, because nursing's, you can make good money nursing, but you're not going to be making like, yeah, I can knock out a $500,000 bill in 2 years. Like, you can't. So this is actually for the American people. But again, when it's Donald Trump, it's never enough and it's always going to be wrong. So in a massive development, President Trump is expected to announce the Healthcare Price Cuts Act. I don't know if he did it by the time we went live here, as soon as today, to fix the broken Obamacare subsidy system that gives billions to big insurance. He has officially cornered the Democrats on Obamacare. Oh yeah. This is the moment. Will you defend big rich insurance companies, Democrats? Will you do it? Will you do it? I don't they probably will, and they'll find a way to spin it. But anyway, here's President Trump talking yesterday.
Going to go down. It went the exact opposite with the biggest increase of healthcare in any country. It's a disaster. And I'm calling today for insurance companies not to be paid, but for the money, this massive amount of money, to be paid directly to the people of our country so that they can buy their own health care, which will be far better and far less expensive than the disaster known as Obamacare. And I've had, I think, great support. I've even had Democrat support. So we want the money that would be going to the insurance company, which is hundreds of billions of dollars. Their stock prices have gone up by 1,000% in many cases, 1,000% over a short period of time, because our country stupidly pays them so much money with this Obamacare scandal. So I want the money to go directly to you, the people. And you go out and you'll buy your own health insurance and you'll negotiate different plans and you'll get much better insurance and you will be an entrepreneur for yourself.
Facts.
So I'm always willing to work with anyone, including the other party. We'll work on something having to do with health care. We can do a lot better. We can do great. So much money is involved, and we're willing to pay so much money to the people. So we're going to pay a lot of money to the people. They're going to go out and buy their own health care, and we're going to forget this Obamacare madness. So with all of that, I just want to tell you the country has never been in better shape.
This is what you should want, America. Why would you not want that? Why would you not want healthcare companies, insurance companies to compete for your business? They're not competing now. It's just like whatever. And these insurance companies, I'm pretty sure if they haven't done so already, they have had release statements flipping out, going crazy, buck wild, because it's about the bottom line. It was never about you. It was about their bottom line. Corporatism, I've said this a billion times. I'll say it a billion times more, like the other billion things I'm going to say a billion times more. Corporatism is all of our enemy. All of us, all of us. It's all of our enemies. because you removed the free market. You no longer have the small business owner. They're irrelevant at this point, and everything is being sucked up by these conglomerates. And then we can't compete. You know, we can't compete with that. And so we get sick. We need to be treated. So now we just have to fall for the okey doke. The jig is up. The jig is up. The greed is up. You know, while you get to drive off in your $500,000 car. Meanwhile, the people showing up to be treated can barely afford a Honda. Yeah, those days need to be over. Yeah, we're done. We're bored. So yeah, I absolutely agree with this, and nothing should come across President Trump's desk that does not reflect that. So we're done. So Democrats, the ball is in your court. How are you going to handle this? How are you going to work through this? Oh, we shall see. January is going to be very entertaining, folks. It's going to be very, 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 very entertaining. And I can't wait till it unfolds. Anyway, another dumb thing that happened while we were away was so the Democrats, a few Democrat folks in the Congress decided to do this stupid video where they're basically telling the military to defy orders from the commander in chief. Why would they do that? Oh, because they really care. No, 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 no. They don't give a damn about the American people. What they care about is their bottom line. And when you care about your bottom line and your political games, you don't give a damn about um, whether or not this harms or hurts the people. So yeah, defy the commander in chief with something he's not doing, but we feel he's doing it. Anyway, take a look at their stupid commercial.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris Deluzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
who take risks each day
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals
against American citizens. Like us. You all swore an oath.
To protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
But from right here at home. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
you must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
The Army,
Our Navy,
The Air Force.
your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
Great, great. With the nice soundtrack above it and all of the stupidity and the foo la la. Now, when you ask this bimbo, when she was asked on ABC News over the weekend, well, what has Trump actually done? This is what the bimbo said.
Let's talk right now. Do you believe President Trump has issued any illegal orders?
To my knowledge, I am not aware of things that are illegal, but certainly there are some legal gymnastics that are going on with these Caribbean strikes.
The law is black and white. It's not ambiguous. It's not, oh, maybe, kind of, sort of. Gymnastics is not illegal, whatever the hell that means. And you saw she had to defer to her little notepad that's sitting off to the side of her, right? When she was asked the question. See, she had to look at her notepad. So President Trump has violated nothing. He has not violated the Constitution. You don't have to like something. There's a difference between not liking something and whether it's unconstitutional. You don't have to like somebody's approach. You don't have to like somebody's policy. You don't have to like how they may go about something that you are passionate about. But when you start taking it to these levels, which y'all have been doing this entire time, when it's unconstitutional, it's illegal, this is just this is their passive aggressive way to incite violence. And so then when President Trump slaps back, because you know he's gonna slap you on your ass and he's gonna slap you hard on your ass, when he slaps back, oh wait, hold on. I thought I had his response here on
Let's
Truth
talk
Social.
right now. Do you?
No, not you. Hold on. Where's the Truth Social response? Hold on, give me 2 seconds. There it is. Okay. So he says this. Jaquavius says this. The traitors that told the military to disobey my orders should be in jail right now, not roaming the fake news networks, trying to explain that what they said was okay. It wasn't and never will be. It was sedition at the highest level, and sedition is a major crime. There can be no other interpretation of what they said. Exactly. Exactly. Um, and so when you decide to incite people to push back or rebel, no, you're going to get called out every time. So now, oh my God, Donald Trump, he's attacked us. He said he wants us to get killed. He wants us to die. But they do this all the time. They do this all the time. Even in regular life, when you talk to these idiots who support these people, they will come into your space. They will say the most horrific things to you. And if you say one thing back that hurts their pussies, they will, you're attacking me. You call me a monkey. Oh, we just gonna forget that you came here and called me a coon, Uncle Tom Sambo, tap dancing, the N word, a monkey. You call me everything in the book. I say one word back, and now you're the victim. You falling out on the floor like a Karen, like somebody literally did something to you. And you came into this space with the most ugliest verbiage. But AJ's the problem because he responded. And I don't like how he responded. So he's the one harassing and bullying here. No, the one harassing and bullying is you, mofo. And I'm not someone who can be harassed and bullied. So I believe in fighting fire with fire. So violent MAGA, let's get to it. Let's just get to it. I'm not part of violent MAGA, but I know there is a faction of MAGA that will set it off. And so when they do, when they do, remember, defund the police. Anyway. All right. So moving along here. So, also, thanks, Yurtha. I'm so glad I wrote this down. So we forgot also, we want to talk about illegal orders. You want to talk about illegal orders? Let's talk about illegal orders for a moment. Do y'all remember when President Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. Forced folks in the military to get the jab, or they were fired without benefits? Remember that? Remember that? Remember that? Remember that? Then you also remember when they said when you no, you also remember that Democrats were absolutely positively 100% on board with that. You remember that? Do y'all remember that illegal order? We want to talk about illegal orders. These same men and women who serve our country who were reinstated by the current president with back pay. Oh, we don't remember that illegal order. Oh. Meanwhile, we can't point out one thing Donald Trump has done that's illegal, that has violated the Constitution in any way. We can't think of anything, but my feelings are hurt. I don't like who's in charge, so I'm just going to sit up here and say the most salacious, ridiculous stuff about him all the time. And I know that the idiots who believe, they're going to believe me, and they're going to go out and they're going to protest, and they're going to commit acts of violence. And then after they commit acts of violence, we're going to blame the very people who the crime has been committed against. It's their fault. MAGA's out here blasting schools. MAGA's out here taking shots at the president. MAGA. MAGA's out here assassinating 2 lawmakers in Minnesota after they voted with Republicans. Yeah, MAGA did that too. Apparently, MAGA did that too. You people are, it's literally psychological warfare with these people. They will torture you. They will, that's all this is. It's psychological torture. Because it's no matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter how well you do it, it's always going to be a problem. Resist, 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 no matter what. And to which I say, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck your mama, fuck your daddy, fuck your children, fuck your parents, fuck your grandparents, fuck your great-great-grandparents, fuck the farmers, fuck everybody you love. That's my response. And if I didn't love my freedom, I would actually, let me shut up. Moving on. Speaking of Musty's Brie, this happened on Friday. So Mondomny, mayor-elect of New York, went and met with President Trump at the White House. And again, let me talk about the psychological warfare of Democrats, of liberals, of these dummies, right? So I'm sitting in a live stream and they keep coming in, oh, Mondomny, own Trump. Trump sat down. Trump wooed the panties off this man. This man talked cash money, big shit when he wasn't in the presence of Trump. He says, he does, he does, he does, he does. And then you're finally in the man's presence and you do this.
To Stephen Nelson, he asked about your comment calling the president a fascist, and your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes. Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
And Mr. President, I wanted to ask you...
Now that's what you call bossed up. Well, I just, what happened? What happened? You was beating your chest like Conan the Barbarian. And then you get in front of the man and now you're a humble servant of the people. You love the people. Oh, when he said that a boy, I that a boy. Trump isn't scared. This is the problem y'all have. Trump isn't scared of any of you people. He will come after any of you. He has no picks. Republican, Democrat, black, white, disabled. He don't give a damn. If you come at him crazy, he's coming back at you crazy. That's it. Attaboy. Oh God. So I don't see where Mondomny owned anything, because Mondomny went to Washington to make sure the money was secure for New York. Because he needs the money to get all y'all the free stuff that y'all still not gonna get. Because he's not in charge. The mayor can't just make stuff free. There, like for the buses, for example, there's a whole transportation committee. There's a whole transportation board that he has to go through. It's never going to happen. They're never going to approve free buses. Right? Now you have free buses, less police, free daycare, rent freezes. This is just chaos. This is chaos in the making, because eventually then you have a governor who's not going to work with him on raising taxes. So if you can't raise the taxes, where are you going to get the money? Oh, the dummies who voted for you, they're going to give you the money. Well, they're not going to give it to you. You're going to take it from them. Exactly, Belinda. He's going to get freedom. But good luck with all your free stuff. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car, you get a free bus, you get a bus pass, you get a train pass. Oh, Lord, shut up. And, and it's not to say that New York has to be run by a New Yorker, but you can definitely tell who's the New Yorker in this room. Trump is a New Yorker through and through. This Musty is an imposter. And he brought in all of his imposter friends to galvanize around him and support him and make him the big dog in the nation's most populous and most financially vulnerable city. But we're going to do that? Okay, cool. Good luck, New York. I don't want New York to fail. I just don't want you to say, when all of this doesn't work, I don't want you to say that nobody told you. Because then you come in my live streams and you want to talk about what socialism is, and I'm asking you if it's ever worked. I don't give a damn what it is. Has it ever worked? And if you can spot me an example of one, just one example of where it worked in mass in an area as populous as New York City, I will shut the whole hell up. In fact, I'll quit talking about politics for the rest of my life. Okay, moving on. We'll be back. Alrighty then. So let's talk about. Oh, it's like, why do I hear my commercial? I was like, it's in my headset. No, it's in damn phone. Anyway, hold on. I have to copy and paste something, y'all. I like how informal this show is, unlike the other one. And when I have a team, it'll be a bit more formal. But anyway, let's talk about. Hold on. I need to just do cut, paste. All right, go. Do. Okay, cool. All right, move that over there. All right. So we all know by now that Marjorie Taylor Greene, aka Marjorie Trader Brown, one thing about Trump is he gonna give you a nickname. What is it, Ron the Sanctimonious? I love that one. I still love that one. But Trump's gonna give you a nickname when you get on his nerves, and so perfect. So Marjorie Taylor Greene resigned. She announced her resignation from Congress on Friday. As we were going into the weekend, and let me be clear, I didn't care enough to produce a video on it. I just didn't care, to be perfectly honest with you. Everyone's acting like, first of all, she's a congresswoman from a small district in Georgia. Let's start there. So this whole thing, and yeah, she has some national prominence or whatever, but she will never be electable as president. So please stop that one. Let's stop there. Let's just full stop, right? Um, but I want to, because honestly, I didn't watch the full 10-minute video that she released. So we're gonna try to get through some of this. I don't think we're gonna get through all of it because I have a few things that I need to say, you know, especially to people on Facebook is one of the, I appreciate Facebook, but it is a very annoying place. Um, if your political barometer is measured by Alex Jones and Candace Owens, we're probably not in the same conversation. Yeah, we're just probably not in the same conversation. But so we're gonna see what she said in this full video. I'll probably fast forward some parts or speed it up or whatever because whatever, it is what it is.
Hi everyone. I've always represented the common American man and woman as a member of the House of Representatives, which is why I've always been despised in Washington, D.C., and just never fit in. Americans are used by the political industrial complex of both political parties, election cycle after election cycle.
I mean, I agree with that. This is why the two-party system doesn't work, because when you have a two-party system, you obviously will have a commitment to either manipulating some part of the populace to keep a base. That's obvious, and so I agree with that. But keep going.
In order to elect whichever side can convince Americans to hate the other side more.
Well, didn't you do that? Am I wrong? Did she not participate in the okay, go.
And the results are always the same. No matter which way the political pendulum swings, Republican or Democrat, nothing ever gets better for the common American man or woman. The debt goes higher, corporate and global interests remain Washington's sweethearts, American jobs continue to be replaced, whether it's by illegal labor or legal labor by visas or just shipped overseas. Small businesses continue to be swallowed by big corporations. Americans' hard-earned tax dollars always fund foreign wars, foreign aid, and foreign interest, and the spending power of the dollar continues to decline. The average American family can no longer survive on a single breadwinner's income, as both parents have to work in order to simply survive. And today, many in my children's generation feel hopeless for their future and don't think they will ever realize the American dream. And that breaks my heart. I ran for Congress in 2020 and have fought every single day believing that Make America Great Again meant America first. I have one of the most conservative voting records in Congress, defending the First Amendment, Second Amendment, unborn babies because I believe God creates life at conception, and I love to fight for the little guy. Strong, safe borders, I have fought hard for that. I've fought against COVID tyrannical insanity and mandated mass vaccinations, and I've never voted to fund foreign wars with your hard-earned tax dollars. However, with almost 1 year into our majority, the legislature has been mostly sidelined. We endured an 8-week shutdown, wrongly, resulting in the House not working for the entire time, and we are entering campaign season, which means all courage leaves and only safe campaign re-election mode is turned on in the House of Representatives. During the longest shutdown in our nation's history, I raged against my own speaker and my own party for refusing to proactively work diligently to pass the plan to save Americans' health care.
We're doing that today. And I don't know why you, as a conservative Republican, would want the government in your health care. Oh, we're going to go over all of that in a moment, Pat.
And protect Americans from outrageous, overpriced, and unaffordable health insurance policies. The House should have been in session working every day to fix this disaster. But instead, America was force-fed disgusting political drama once again from both sides of the aisle on television every single day. My bills, which reflect many of President Trump's executive orders, like calling for a new census counting Americans only to draw new districts, making English the official language of the U.S., making it a felony to medically trans a minor, and other bills like eliminating capital gains taxes on the sale of your primary home and eliminating H-1B visas, just sit. They all sit collecting dust. That's how it is for most members of Congress bills. The Speaker never brings them to the floor for a vote. Many common Americans are no longer easily convinced by paid political propaganda spokespersons and consultants on TV and paid shills on social media obediently serving with cult-like conviction to force others to swallow the political party talking points. Because they know how much credit card debt they have, they know how much their bills have gone up over the past 5 years. They actually do their own grocery shopping and know food costs too much. Their rent has increasingly gone up and up. They have been outbid by corporate asset managers too many times when they put in an offer to buy a house. They have been laid off after being forced to train their visa holding replacement. The college degree they were told to earn only left them in debt with no big six-figure salary. They see more homeless people than ever on their own community streets. They can't afford health insurance or practically any insurance, and they just aren't stupid. These are the people I represent and love because that is who all of my family and friends are, common Americans. I've been blessed to represent the 14th District of Georgia for 5 years. The district is filled with some of the most wonderful, kind-hearted, God-fearing, patriotic, hardworking people you will ever meet. Good, regular, common Americans. I've worked hard to bring taxpayer dollars back home to help district needs. I impeached Biden's Secretary of Homeland after watching my constituents die as he facilitated dangerous open border invasion into America. And I led the effort to defund hard-left politically biased NPR and PBS and the corrupt USAID, and I did that as chair of the DOJ subcommittee. I have fought harder than almost any other elected Republican to elect Donald Trump and Republicans to power. I traveled the country for years. I spent millions of my own money. I missed precious time with my family that I can never get back. And I showed up in places like outside the New York courthouse in Collect Pond Park against a raging leftist mob as Trump faced Democrat lawfare. Meanwhile, most of the establishment Republicans who secretly hate him and who stabbed him in the back and never defended him against anything have all been welcomed in right after the election. And I will never forget the day I had to leave my mother's side as my father had brain surgery to remove cancerous tumors in order to fly to Washington, D.C. to defend President Trump and vote no against the Democrats' second impeachment in 2021.
Listen, obviously the parent being sick part, I'm not gonna, go ahead and go. But it sounds like just regular life. You're a congresswoman. You have to go vote. That's your job. You signed up for it. You chose that job, right? So yeah, you chose to campaign for President Trump. You chose to spend millions of dollars of your own money. So how are you like us again? I wish I had millions of dollars to just go blow to support somebody. But again, I'm not saying it was wrong. I'm just saying you made the choice. So don't come. I hate when people do it. It's like when what was I watching recently? I saw a clip of who was it? I think it was the Braxtons, and she had lent the sister money for her down payment or something, and then they got into a kerfuffle, and then in the kerfuffle, the one of the sisters proceeded to throw in the other sister's face that she paid for her down payment. And I was like, you don't do things for people so then you can throw it back in their face when y'all in a moment of contention. You do things because you genuinely want to do it for someone. I don't do something for somebody and then if some moment of unless I have to prove something, that's different. Like if I have to prove, if something's being said that's untrue, different. But if it's simply, oh, we're having a fight about some frivolous, stupid stuff, and I'm in my feelings, or you in your feelings, I'm not gonna throw it. I did this, I spent this, I wrote that, I went over here, I did that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. For what? I did it because I wanted to do it. So what? Why do we need to know all this now? Why do we need to know all this? It's irrelevant.
My poor father and my poor mother, it was way too much
Emotionalism. Don't fall for it.
for all of us.
We could you imagine every time I got into a conflict? Oh, well, my mom died. My mom died. My mom died. You'd be like, okay, really? Well, after my mom died, you'd be like, look, bro, really?
Through it all, I never changed or went back on my campaign promises and only disagreed in a few areas, like my stance against H-1Bs replacing American jobs.
I agree with that. But again, you have the right to disagree. It's not about disagreeing, it's how you went about it. But keep talking.
AI state moratoriums, debt for life 50-year mortgage scam.
I agree with that. I don't agree with that with President Trump. I don't want a 50-year mortgage. Why the hell would I want that? So by the time I'm dying, I don't even get to enjoy it because it still ain't going to be paid off.
Standing strongly against all involvement in foreign wars and demanding the release of the Epstein files.
Yeah, which aren't those coming? We got 30 days, right? The DOJ got 30 days, right? So that's been done.
Other than that, my voting record has been solidly with my party and the president. Loyalty should be a two-way street.
Yeah, loyalty is a two-way street. Keep going.
And we should be able to vote our conscience and represent our district's interests because our job title is literally representative. America first should mean America first and only Americans first, with no other foreign country ever being attached to America first in our halls of government. Standing up for American women who were raped at 14 years old, trafficked and used by rich, powerful men should not result in me being called a traitor and threatened by the President of the United States.
That's not why. That's not why. And did I miss something? Did Trump threaten her? Maybe this was a meeting that happened because I don't recall a threat. What was the threat? I don't recall that. The Epstein files is irrelevant in terms of disagreeing with Trump because I don't care about the Epstein files, but it wasn't a non-negotiable. But if you're passionate about it, go forward with it. But nobody's saying that was the reason. We're just going to forget. We're going to go over the timeline in a moment. We're just going to forget the timeline, Marjorie. We're going to forget the timeline, Marjorie. Okay, go ahead. Keep talking.
Whom I fought for. However, while yes, hurtful, my heart remains filled with joy, my life is filled with happiness, and my true convictions remain unchanged because my self-worth is not defined by a man, but instead by God who created everything in existence.
Smile on cue. God. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but what other kind of justice? I mean, you're not going to get these rich and powerful people in a courtroom if that's what you're thinking. I mean, we can't even get Bill and Hillary Clinton to show up to Congress to testify. We can't even get them to do that. There's been no big pressure by the Democrats to push Bill and Hillary Clinton to go testify regarding the Epstein files. But what's going on with that, Democrats? I don't see the outrage, Democrats. I don't see y'all posting relentlessly. What is Bill Clinton hiding? Why isn't he going to testify? What is Hillary Clinton hiding? Why is she not going to testify? When Biden's doctors and staff pled the fifth on the Hill, there was no outrage behind that either. Democrats was there. Okay. Keep going.
You see, I have never valued power, titles, or attention in spite of all the wrong assumptions about me. I do not cling to those things because they are meaningless and empty traps that hold too many people in Washington. I believe in term limits and do not think Congress should be a lifelong career or an assisted living facility.
Yeah, but what it should be is a place where you secure your pension. Moving on.
My only goal and desire has ever been to hold the Republican Party accountable for the promises it makes to the American people and put America first. And I have fought against Democrats' damaging policies like the Green New Deal, wide open, deadly, unsafe border policies, and the trans agenda on children and against women. With that has brought years of non-stop, never-ending personal attacks, death threats, lawfare, ridiculous slander, and lies about me.
Everyone gets death threats. Small creators like me get death threats. The president gets death threats. Every congressional rep gets death threats, regardless of party. Everyone gets death threats. It comes with doing any type of political commentary. It just comes with the territory. It sucks. I mean, I'm not saying it's a great feeling to know that somebody wants to end my life over a political view or an ideology that I support or whatever. But that's what comes with the territory, boo. I'm sorry to break the news to you. And you have money to hire personal security. I don't.
That most people could never withstand even for a single day.
Mm.
It has been unfair and wrong, not only to me, but especially to my family, but it's been wrong to my district as well. I have too much self-respect and dignity. I love my family way too much, and I do not want my sweet district to have to endure a hurtful and hateful primary against me by the president that we all fought for.
So you gave up because you couldn't take the heat. Is that America first? If you really bout it. If that's really your mission, you don't quit. But maybe I'm just crazy.
Only to fight and win my election while Republicans will likely lose the midterm.
Oh, we'll come back to that. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But if your record that you just read holds weight, if what you stand for is in fact what you truly believe, why can't you withstand a primary? Because we've seen it time and time again. There are candidates where millions and millions and millions of dollars were thrown behind them and they still came up short. So if in your congressional district you can't pull together a convincing argument to get people to continue to support you, that says more about you, Miss Taylor Greene, than it does for anyone else, correct? This sounds like you felt like you were entitled to the seat. No congressional rep is entitled to their seat. You have to earn it. And so if there's a belief that somehow you have done or said or become something that is unrecognizable, your constituents should be able to say, hey, we don't like that, or hey, we don't see a change and we actually want to keep sending this person back to Washington. So I don't understand what the problem is here. If you actually had the power, we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation, would we?
And in turn, be expected to defend the president against impeachment after he hatefully dumped tens of millions of dollars against me and tried to destroy me.
And now she's the victim. She's the victim now, y'all. Hatefully. Oh, hatefully. Them strong words, hatefully. Again, the dollar amount shouldn't matter. If your argument holds weight, if your position holds weight, if your record holds weight, Who cares? Let him dump all the money he wants into it.
It's all so absurd and completely unserious. I refuse to be a battered wife, hoping it all.
Oh God. Wait. She's a battered wife now? Oh, the drama. Oh, the trauma. I'm a battered wife. Again, face your constituents with a convincing argument. They will send you back to Washington, regardless of how much money. Expose that whoever the candidate is that they're trying to that you claim Trump and his administration and the Republican Party is trying to put forth to take you down. You debate them and you expose them. That's what you do. You don't. Oh, I quit. I can't do it. I quit.
Goes away and gets better. If I am cast aside by the president and the MAGA political machine.
Why does the greater MAGA political machine matter? The greater MAGA political machine does not send you to Washington. What did she say? District 15? Whatever your district is in Georgia, that's who sends you to Washington. You don't have to worry about my opinion of you because I'm not one of your constituents. I'm not voting for you. The people you should be laser focused on are the folks who are going to pull a lever with your name on it. Those are the people you should be worried about. Who cares what the greater MAGA populace says? Who cares what we think? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're ultimately not the ones who are going to make that decision whether you keep your job or not. It's the people in your district.
And replaced by neocons, big.
Oh, God. And now we're again. If these are neocons and big pharma and anti everything your district stands for, stand on the debate stage and bring the heat. Stand on the stage. Articulate your position and be very clear that this fraud that they brought in to take you down ain't the homie. That's what you do in that situation. You don't sit there and be like, oh, yeah, I quit. And as someone who's seen battered wives, you're not a battered wife. I've seen actual battered wives. So to even make that comparison is insulting to actual women who go through that. Insulting. Absolutely.
Big tech, military-industrial war complex, foreign leaders, and the elite donor class that can never, ever relate to real Americans, then many common Americans have been cast aside and replaced as well. Mm-hmm. There is no plan to save the world or a 4D chess game being played. When common American people realize and understand that the political industrial complex of both parties is ripping this country apart, that not one elected leader like me is able to stop Washington's machine from gradually destroying our country, and instead the reality is that they, common Americans, the people, possess the real power over Washington, then I'll be here by their side to rebuild it. Until then, I'm going back to the people that I love, to live my life to the fullest as I always have, and I look forward to a new path ahead. I'll be resigning from office with my last day being January 5th, 2026.
January 5th. Bookmark that.
And I look forward to seeing many of you again sometime in the future. May God bless you all, and may God bless America.
That's so corny. That's so corny. So let's go over the timeline, shall we? Let's go over the timeline. Shall we? So, in October, Joy Behar says on The View, Republicans are afraid to come on our show. Why are they afraid to come here? Y'all remember that? That was October. We knew it was BS because we know that and then literally as soon as she made that statement and the clip started going viral and started going around, people were like, wait a minute. I asked to be on I asked to be on The View. I asked people, several people came forward. We've all asked to be on The View. Then all of a sudden, oh, the first weekend in November, literally a couple weeks later, Marjorie Taylor Greene is booked on The View. Now, I'm sure what the producers on The View knew already was that there was contention between Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene. They're never going to bring in a Byron Donalds. They're never going to bring in a Nancy Mace. They're never going to bring in any of those types of Republicans. They're going to bring in the ones that have a gripe with Trump. If Marjorie Taylor Greene and Trump were still cool, she would have never been invited and or accepted to appear on The View. If there was no contention, because you have to have to go on The View, even if you are conservative or Republican, you have to have an anti-Trump edge. You're never going to have a Wesley Hunt on The View. First of all, he's a black man, so you can't accuse him of all the crazy things that y'all accuse people of. And then he's way too bright and way too articulate, and he will absolutely destroy this entire table with a few sentences. So you bring her up because she has a gripe with Trump at the moment, and there's a little kerfuffle and a little issue and a little tension. So she goes up there first week in November, and they massage her back and make her feel like she's welcomed, and then it's very clear. It's very clear that she is doing which is fine to push back on some of the president's agenda. You don't have to agree with everything. That's not what I'm saying here, but it seemed like the pushback was not coming from a genuine place. And this unfolded very quickly. So mind you, okay, Joy Behar in October, now you get invited on. Then you appear on Tucker Carlson. And then you appeared on other platforms where you're basically espousing a lot of the things that contradicted your earlier positions on certain things in geopolitics and in American politics. But whatever. Again, we're allowed to change our minds, but it did not seem authentic. It seemed political. It seemed like a show, political theater, the performance of it all. You know what I'm saying? And so on November 14th, a few days later, Donald Trump withdraws his endorsement of Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's November 14th. Now, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, this is what she wanted. She needed that because that was her out. Once you get Trump to clap back at you, once you get Trump to push back, once you get Trump to give you a nickname, now we can start making the next moves for my career. She then appeared on CNN where, she acted like, oh, I don't know what happened. I don't know. I was a bit support. I don't know what happened. I don't know. And then she remembered the day the vote on the Epstein Transparency Act or whatever it's called. On that day, she stood with the victims, which was another, photo op and a political theater. And where she acted like, oh my god, and then once the act passed, and then she made her speech where she once again attacked Trump again, and so her and her team started doing the math. This is just my speculation and my opinion, but we know where we've reached. So according to Yahoo Finance, actually, let me pull this up. Hold on, let's replace. Let's do this. Booyaka. All right, cool. So according to Yahoo Finance, let's go down to the meat and potatoes. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay, cool. Here we go. Quick take. How rich is Marjorie Taylor Greene now? Greene's financial journey is as unconventional as her political career. Since joining Congress in 2021, her net worth has skyrocketed, jumping from around $700,000 to as much as $25 million. As of October 2025, Marjorie Taylor Greene's estimated net worth is approximately $25 million, which marks a significant increase from before she took office. Now, this is the interesting part. Her wealth primarily comes from her majority ownership in her family's commercial construction business, Taylor Commercial Incorporated, which is valued at up to $25 million in her financial disclosures. Other assets include real property, bank accounts, and publicly traded stocks. American politics is big business. Facts. And many of the 1% hold seats in Congress, the president's cabinet, or the president's administration. Greene is no exception. Her base yearly salary as a member of Congress is $174,000. Now, here's the thing that's not being said here. What was the value of her business before she entered Congress? Notice how that was conveniently left out, right? You notice how it was conveniently left out, right? For the stock trades 2021, right? What's the value of the business? That's what I want to know. And of course, we're not going to get that. I will have to go deep dive when I get off of here. Because everybody's talking about, oh, we you know, she's doing the noble thing. So let's be clear. Go back to the timeline. So what did I say? November 14th, Donald Trump withdraws his endorsement. Just 7 days later, we get this video.
Hi, everyone.
7 days later, we get this video. 7 days later, we get the acknowledgement that I am resigning. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace out. January 5th. So, in Congress, in order to receive your lifetime pension, you have to be there at least 5 years. So, January 5th is a mere 2 days after her generous taxpayer-funded pension vests, meaning for the rest of her natural life, we the people of America will be paying her pension, and she barely served 5 years in Congress. And it's a six-figure pension, so it's not like $30. You know, it's not like a few $100s a month. So we get to pay her six-figure pension when she barely served 5 years. She quits after 7 days of losing. She lost her endorsement and quit 7 days later. And you want to tell me you don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? Because I do. The timeline unraveled just too fast for me. And that's why this morning when I was preparing, I was like, what is the timeline from when we first started to see cracks to when she actually quit? So the crack started in October. We're at the end of November. So you mean to tell me in less than 8 weeks? It was strategic, y'all. When you're America first, you don't give up on the American people. You don't give up on the fight. You don't silence your own voice in the halls of Congress if you're America first. And I don't want to hear all these emotional stories about death threats. Everybody on Capitol Hill gets death threats. Everybody. Republican, Democrat, socialist, communist, right-wingers, whatever. They all get it. So people love to bring up death threats like it's unique to them. No, everybody has a psychopath that's after them, even people who aren't famous. So I'm not buying I'm not buying that. So that's my theory. The timeline speaks for itself. The timeline is factual. And then I told you what part of it was my opinion. So you reach the conclusion that you want to reach for yourself. But quit playing games with me, because you're not going to convince me for one moment that you're giving all of this up because it's the right thing to do. It's the noble thing to do. It's the American thing to do. You're full of it. You're full of it. Donald Trump said, Marjorie went bad. Nevertheless, I will always appreciate Marjorie and thank her for her service to our country. That's what President Trump said. That's it. We're good. We don't have time for your emotions and your trauma and your drama and all this crap. But, enjoy your company that went from doing well to now being very, very wealthy. Enjoy your assets, enjoy your stocks, enjoy your lifetime pension on the taxpayer's dime that you barely earned. Enjoy. And good luck. Whatever's next, good luck. Anyway, Republicans, time to turn towards the midterms. It's time to also get some stuff done. So hopefully this stuff with healthcare is it's going to be a fight, but I think it can get done. And this might actually be the thing that ends the filibuster in the Senate. But anyway, I appreciate you all for listening to me rant and rave today. It is 3 days before Thanksgiving. So once again, we'll be here Monday, well today, and Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we're off Thursday, Friday of this week, and then we'll be back next Monday. Anyway, if you would like to support the channel, you can go to AJsRANTroom.com. You can get this cool Make the Hood Great Again hat available at AJsRANTroom.com. We also have all types of merch. A lot of it is not even political, so you can go over there, check it out, and do the dang on thing. Support Black businesses. Anyway, if you would like to buy me a coffee, or in this case a tea, you can go to buymeacoffee.com, and or you can scan this QR code and punch in AJ's Rant Room. I said that all backwards. You can scan the QR code, or you can go to Buy Me a Coffee and punch in AJ's Rant Room. You could also drop a Cash App at AJ's Rant. You could also drop a Super Chat. You could also drop I forgot what the other things were called. I'm new to the YouTube monetization, y'all. Give me a moment. Give me a little grace here. Anyway, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. I plan to be live on TikTok later. So check me out there. And thank you so much. And hallelujah.